yeah, it's always a new field, new day.
There's so much to deal with to get that arrow inside the 10 ring. As we go to the women's team gold medal match now. And another excellent pairing. This will feature Colombia and Italy going head-to-head here in the women's team gold medal match. On Compound Sunday, Italy first out of the tunnel. Italy, number 5, coming out of qualifying. And Colombia, number 3, after the qualification round. As you see the Italian team out first, out of the tunnel and onto the field. Italy edged India this week by 1 in the quarterfinals, then defeated the United States by 8 points in the semifinals, and thus they find themselves here in the gold medal match. And ladies, the camera's over here. There you go.
They like to look at themselves in the screen, just like the mirror at home, right?
Laura Longo, Viviana Spano, and Anastasia Anastasio. And Sergio Pagni in the box coaching. Got a little bit of a kick out of that himself. And listen to this crowd. Colombia. And you so seldom get to compete on your native land, in your native country. You got to experience that this summer with the World Championships in Copenhagen. Martin, this is a great moment for these gals.
It's amazing. It's always when you walk out through the entrance there and hear the crowd. It's just kind of like all the hairs just blowing up, just feeling like you can't explain how it feels.
You can feel the electricity. Alejandra Usquiano on the left. On your right, so there's Alejandra, graciously acknowledging the crowd as she always does. On the right, Ora Maria Bravo, 20 years of age, and of course in the middle, Sara Lopez. Sara Lopez, number 1 in the world, leading her team out here, but of course she's got great support from Alejandra Usquiano and Ora Maria Bravo. Should be a good match here in the women's gold medal match. Now, earlier this season in Shanghai at stage 1, it was Malaysia defeating the United States. In Antalya on Konyaaltı Beach, Colombia did win a gold medal, defeating South Korea, and of course Poland. It was Russia by 4 over Italy as Natalia Avdieva, Svetlana Cherkishnieva, and Maria Vinogradova teamed up to win the gold medal in Poland. And what a luxury it is as a nation to have somebody like Alejandra Usquiano to lead off for you. One of the most delightful archers in the sport. And talented.
She shot so many tournaments also, yeah. So when she walks out there to shoot the first arrows, you have a good comfort.
Alejandra, 22 years old, 7th in the world. Ora Maria Bravo, 20 years old, ranked 50th in the world, averaging 9.3 points per arrow. And here is Sara Lopez. Sara, number 1 in the world.
Sinks it in. X dead spider.
X marks the spot.
Definitely.
So the bar has been raised, the benchmark has been established, and Laura Longo will get the party started for Team Italy. Just a little left.
Seems like everybody compared to the practice fields is hitting a little bit left.
Practice field quite a ways from the actual field here.
It's a long walk actually. And there's football matches from the locals right in between, so you get a little bit of everything here at archery.
Plus here you're shooting from east to west. There it's north to south.
Exactly.
Or south to north, I should say. Anastasia Anastasio, the 25-year-old, who's ranked 27th in the world. 5 World Cup medals in her career.
Actually, Italy was really happy that we didn't have to shoot Saturday as we normally do, because the whole Italian team has come down with some tummy bugs, so none of them were actually capable of shooting yesterday. Went to the doctors to get their some food poisoning or something.
There was talk that they may have to forfeit this match.
Yes, so they were really happy that we didn't have to shoot until this Sunday, so they're actually able to shoot.
So after that first 9 by Usquiano, who atones with a 10, Colombia did have 3 10s in a row. Bravo puts one out in the 9 ring. And here is Sara Lopez, who also looked to be a little bit under the weather during the warm-ups this morning. She seems to be okay right now. 10 and a 9 for Sara in the first end. Sara will also be back later today in the medal matches, individual medal matches. As we go back to the 27-year-old Laura Longo, who lines up the shot, puts it in the 10 ring. Spano.
2 more 10s and we have a tied so far.
Viviana picked up her first medal, the team silver, just last month at stage 3 in Wrocław. At best, Italy will be trailing by 1 after this first end. At best. That depends upon Anastasia, Anastasio. They lead, actually, Colombia does by 2, 57 to 55.
The sides gets a few click.
And when you adjust that sight, how much of that is guesswork? How much of that is just experience, knowing that, okay, I was just this far off. Maybe it's just 1 click, or maybe I need 2 clicks.
It's experience and a feel, because actually 1 click, 2 clicks, it's so little. So
it's not an exact science.
No, it's so few people can hold the bow that steady. But you don't want to keep shooting at the left and don't do anything, even though you know it's. So you always give it 1 or 2 mental clicks and hope it goes in. But it's definitely a feel for how you shoot. You shoot so many arrows a week, so many arrows a month, a year, so you know most likely how many clicks it is. And then it's just about how is the judgment of the wind. In this field, there's not much wind on the sideways, so it should be fairly on.
Wind's very still here on a warm Sunday morning in Medellin, Colombia. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, wherever in the world you might be happy to be watching. We're glad to have you with us here on Archery TV, along with Denmark's Martin Demsbo. I'm Carl Archie, and we are watching the women's team gold medal match between Italy and Colombia. Colombia this week beating Venezuela by 2 in the quarterfinals, and then made it past Mexico by 3 in the semifinals. So Lopez, Usquiano, and Bravo up against Anastasio, Spano, and Longo. And Laura to shoot first as Italy trails by 2 after the opening end. Laura Longo, a bronze medalist at the 2009 World Championships in Korea. Her last World Cup medal, a team gold in Poland, but that was 2 years ago. She'll go home with the medal today, but the question is, which color will it be? That color was red.
That's not a color we like to see, especially not when you're trailing with a few
No, when
points.
you see red, that's not a good thing.
No.
Viviana Spano.
Just outside 10.
Got it back in the gold rings at least.
Sergio Pagan being coach of the day.
He knows a little bit about archery, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has been out there a few times.
A few times. Not his first rodeo.
Nope. I think the
there we go.
Only compound men to have twice World Cup titles.
Back to back.
Yeah.
2009, 2010. Sergio Pagni will be center stage later on today. In fact, in just a little while in the men's gold medal match. There's Usquiano.
Now today you can hear the home crowd, how much they can lift the tournament.
Bravo. Wants to put the tip of that arrow right in the 10 ring. Just outside. Now Sara Lopez, who hails from Pereira, outside of Medellin. Shooting quickly. Got it.
Yep. That's what she does best.
Taking care of business.
Just a few weeks ago, shot a new world record, 713 out of 720, so she knows where the 10 are.
And right now, Colombia is 5 up in the match over Italy, midway through the second end. Laura Longo battling, fighting, trying to bring her team back. Feeling better after shooting that 7, I'm sure. Coming back with the 10. Spano with a 10.
Getting some redemption.
Spano sinking one into the center circle. Can Anastasio make it 4 in a row? She looked away as soon as she released.
Yeah, it was a really quick release. You could see her thumb closely moving to the trigger, and it just got.
Did she punch it?
It was a punch, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's always hard to control when you're in this stressful environment.
Alejandra Usquiano,
Keeps
you
pounding
can hear her
tens.
coach. Muy bien. We would concur.
A little shaky.
Kept it inside the gold ring. And with Sara Lopez and Alejandra Usquiano working with Maria Bravo, the Colombian team is in good shape right now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, end number 2.
And unofficially leading by,
as we turn our attention to the scoreboard.
right now, 5 points, 114 to 109. So they led by 2 after the first end, and have added 3 more points to that lead, 114 to 109. Let's get back to talking about the release, Martin. I mean, obviously most of the archers are using the back tension. Some do intentionally punch it, but most of the time you're trying not to punch that.
Most of the people try not to punch that. Some people can really make it work good with the punching, but most people will suffer for it sooner or later and actually have issues with a good aim and actually get executed the shot good. Many people shoot the thumb trigger. You shoot that as a back tension where you actually don't punch it but wrap your finger around it and just keep pulling until the release goes off. Or you can use the hinge like you see Alejandra shooting the basically back tension where you actually have no trigger. You just keep pulling and extending until you are over the hook, over the
And it's such a subtle thing. Just a little bit more tension than you use to draw back.
Yeah, you just when you're up at your aim and you are drawing your bow to the back wall of the cams, you just keep extending. A little bit like the recurve, you extend through the clicker. Here you just extend through the release aid. And keep working it. You'll almost see also a stronger expression, especially when it's windy. You will have some. The people that is normally used to shooting a lot of strong back tension, they will have a stronger, solid shot in the wind also.
And you just hope that release works.
Yeah, that's
yes.
for sure. Well, at least it wasn't a punch if it goes off without touching it. But yeah, it's the release aid it's also such a individual thing. Some people like the index finger, some like back tension, some like thumb triggers, and some punches everything of it, and some just use the pure back tension. It's hard work for the.
Tough start to the third end for Italy. Laura's been a little bit up and down, much
again,
like the roller coaster here in El Parque Norte.
Yeah, also if they've had 1.5 day where they've been just really sick, there's not much energy in this heat, so maybe that can be a little bit of explanation for some of the shots. They can't, seems like they can't get in all the way into the 10 rings. Again, in this weather, and if you have had 1.5 day where you just have been with tummy bugs, it's not much energy left. That's a good ace.
Anastasio coming through. Her team really needed a boost. Alejandra Usquiano. Alejandra, who won her first World Cup medal, a team medal in Turkey in 2013. It was a team gold medal. She would go on and win the individual gold medal that year in Medellin, right here, which led to the World Cup gold medal in Paris. Same year that you won the gold medal in Paris, the World Cup finals.
That was a spectacular venue there in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Ora Maria Bravo holding it together. Just 20 years of age. Ranked 50th in the world. Ora Maria Bravo, a team gold medal in Belek, the World Championships in 2013. And there's Sara Lopez doing what Sara Lopez does.
She's definitely one of the shooters that the men compound don't want to shoot matches against.
She just shoots tens. Most of the time. Laura Longo back where she belongs.
Yeah.
Now Spano.
Using her, it's the back tension, you know, with no trick on, just building up the back tension until it goes off. Nice X.
Beautifully
really
done.
Strong shot.
Bonita.
But yeah, with releases, there's so many ways to shoot them. And even sometimes if it's like really windy, you'll see the shooters that punches the triggers have a better shooting because they don't get picked up so much by the wind because they can just execute. Oh, good 10.
Great grouping right there.
Really nice.
And in fact, 4 straight 10s by Italy.
But yeah, when you're in total control of your punching the trigger, you don't need more than a hair of a second in the yellow, and you can punch in a 10 or a 9. Where it's windy, where the people that use back tension normally use a few more seconds, and which can be really hard in heavy wind.
Usquiano, who is rarely out of the top 10, coming through with another big shot for Colombia. Ora Maria. Little low. In fact, they'll put a star by that 8. Alejandra Usquiano trying to help Sara Lopez line up the shot. Sara once again with another 10, showing the pinpoint precision that's made her the top ranked archer in women's compound in the world. So after 18 arrows, 166 points put up on the board by Team Italy. And it remains a 5-point lead for Colombia. Colombia with 171 points right now. So it was a 5-point lead after the second end, still a 5-point lead after the third end. Not out of the realm of possibility, but it would take almost a complete collapse by Colombia.
Yeah, we saw in the earlier match 4 point could shrink off in one end, but again, Colombia is a really strong team, so I don't think they're going to give up those 5 points.
Great coverage here by the media in Medellin, Colombia. Of course, great coverage by our Hit the Roof production crew, which has traveled in from all over the world here. World Archery creating the venue, and the archers creating the excitement.
Team Colombia making their way into the gold medal matchup by defeating.
Here we are in the women's team gold medal match. And Colombia just 6 arrows away from claiming that gold here on their native soil. And of course the judges down there inspecting, as well as the agents for Italy and Colombia, taking a very close look at that one arrow by Ora Maria Bravo. It's either an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, they want to be sure that the scorecard is filled in correctly here.
El equipo italiano clasificó, ganando el cuarto de final 226 al equipo de India.
So that arrow under very, very close scrutiny, close inspection, and the verdict will soon be in. In fact, they're radioing it back right now as the arrows are being pulled by Mr. Cardona for Colombia.
So the arrow has been checked and assessed. Arrow number 5 on the Colombian side. It is an 8.
One thing, whenever I watch the Colombian team, they always look like they're having fun.
Yeah, they train a lot.
Usually look like they're having fun.
They train a lot together and travel a lot together, and they just have a really good combo there.
So they have officially ruled that that shot was an 8 by Oro Maria Bravo. And it is a 5-point lead officially for Colombia, much to the delight of their fans here in Medellin.
So now Italy really needs to have put on some pressure.
Essentially, they cannot miss on any of these last 6 shots if they want to maintain any hope. And that's if Colombia is inclined to let them back in.
8.
Longo drifts high into the red rings, up in the red zone. Now Spano. Spots up.
Yep.
Anastasio's had 3 10s so far, and that's her
That's
4th.
one.
So 4 10s in the match for Anastasio. She's been the most consistent archer out there for Italy. Usquiano sings another one home. Steely-eyed Oro Maria Bravo, who finished 17th in Medellin in 2014 in individual play.
9.
An excellent archer in her own right. On the rise as Sara Lopez, the bronze medalist from Copenhagen, after winning 2 team medals at the Youth World Championships in Yankton, South Dakota, lands another one right in the middle of the target. So a 6-point lead with 3 arrows to go, and Longo still struggling. Some days it just goes that way, doesn't it, Martin?
Exactly. I think they're just, again, happy to be here, especially after being so sick the last few days. They came in here and gave it as much as they could and give it a good try, but I think there's just... For team rounds, you need to be on top of your game, especially when you're up against a team like Colombia here. So if you have 2 days where you are really off because of sickness and stuff, then you're really already from the start trailing. So.
9.
So Italy will finish with 220 points in the match. And it's all in the hands of the 3 archers from Colombia. The gold medals within their grasp.
9.
And they move 1 step closer after the 9 by Usquiano. Oro Maria Bravo
8.
in the red zone herself. So now it just takes 4 points from Sara Lopez.
If she hits the target, it's a win.
Who could probably do this with her eyes closed. We won't know for sure, but I assume that they were wide open as she finishes off the match in grand style, and Colombia does indeed win here in Medellin. And Colombia celebrating here in Medellin. You spend so much of the year traveling around the globe to other places, shooting in other countries, which is great. You get to see the world, but nothing else like winning here on your home turf.
Nothing beats a home crowd, and especially when you're winning at the home crowd. It's amazing.
Martin Damsbone knows after the World Championships this past summer in Copenhagen, he knows what Alejandra Usquiano and Aura Maria Bravo and Sara Lopez are feeling right now as they acknowledge the crowd here in Medellin, holding those bows high in the Colombian sky. And a great moment for Team Colombia here as they capture the gold medal, winning the match handily by, I believe, 7 points. I believe the final score, yes, 227 to 220 is your final score. So a commanding win for Colombia. Colombia finishing off a week in which they defeated Venezuela by 2 in the quarterfinals, knocked off Mexico by 3 in the semifinals, and then have a relatively easier match against Italy here in the gold medal match. But as you said, the Italians with the stomach illness this past week and being sapped, I think, a little bit of their strength, and exactly at high noon here in Medellin.